Another edition of Live Art Stream with Victor Moreno. Uh, Today we're going to be working on a return card. We're going to be doing an atom bomb trash can shaped card. So that should be fun. All right. Oop, there we go. Just trying to get a little better angle here. We'll see how that goes. And as always, today, usually we do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We haven't set up streams for next week because I don't know the schedule yet. More than likely Monday and Tuesday for sure. So those will be set up after this one is over. So that way you guys can plan your viewing. Hey, what's up, Mr. Houdini? How's it going? Let's tweak this here so I can bring the drawing down a bit. I don't want to be like reaching all the way to Mars to draw today. There we go. All right, that should be good. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a sketch card here. So that should be fun. And as always, get this place popping. If you haven't been here before, you know how it works. If you have comments, feel free to type them on the chat box on the right side. Give us a thumbs up. The thumbs up is right under the video. And feel free to subscribe if you haven't. If you're watching this on replay, I hope you have a good time watching us draw. And feel free to subscribe to one of our live streams. We usually offer a full week's worth of programming, here on the Cult Classics channel. Next week, we're going to have a lot of movie reviews. Monday, we'll have a review of Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour version. We should have reviews and a watch party for Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Thursday. And we'll have tons of South by Southwest reviews going live, including some that are horror movies, some that are documentaries about pro wrestling. So next week there's gonna be a ton of content up. So I hope you guys subscribe, enjoy, and check it out on top of our regular drawing streams, which are my favorite thing to do during the week. So I thank you guys for showing up. All right. How's today different than the last couple days? Well, last couple days I've kind of had something pre-drawn, so you were mainly just getting coloring. So today you're gonna get the full shebang. We're gonna get a crazy exploding atom bomb going on. And if you have any comments, like I said, feel free to type them on the right side. What you see underneath here is my scratch board. That's usually where, doodle ideas. If you're an artist, you're trying to get into sketch cards, any of that stuff, and you have questions, feel free to ask, because I'm always free to give advice. It's something we do a lot on the channel. So not just me showing off the stuff I like to draw, but I know a lot of artists come in here and check stuff out, so I'm always here to help and try to impart some of my knowledge to try to help you guys on your drawing journeys, if I can help. I can give you my 2 cents, and you guys can take that information and reshape it, reuse it, if you will, and help yourselves out in your own artistic journeys, which I think is an important thing to do, especially nowadays. The world is there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. I think it's good to have outlets, So let's see here. Atom bomb in here is going to have kind of a funny head. And this pen is not as sharp as I would have liked. I have been working on some stuff off stream, so I probably should have sharpened it beforehand. So, such is life. I'm not perfect. But hey, remember, nothing has to be perfect. All you got to do is work on stuff and make yourself enjoy what you're doing. All right. So the first thing I want to do, and there we go. Whoop. All right. That eraser is a little more than I thought. All right. Alternatively, you guys, if you worry about having pencil lines on your cards, you can always use blue color pencil or red. I find red is kind of helpful to use because then you can blend that in with some with some colors. It's something I used to do. I haven't done in a while. Probably should get back into the habit. You know, but that's it. Once you learn the rules of art or coloring or whatnot, you can always take that and use that information on your own to make your own art style unique. So now we've got those eyes there. They're symmetrical. All right, and now as we're like, okay, time to reshape that jawline. Sometimes you just have a rough idea where you're going, but then once you know where you're at, you got to go back and fix stuff. Never be afraid to erase. That's all I'm saying. Got a crazy open mouth here. Yep, that looks good. Then when you get a little more confident where your drawing's going, just lay the lines up a little thicker. Hey, what's up, Mr. Kimball? How's it going, man? All right. And there we go. It's kind of where I wanted to go with that. And thankfully, we didn't have to do too much erasing. So now, let's get some crazy tie action here. Crazy tie action, not confused with crazy tie action, because I do love me some yellow curry, and that is the dad joke for the evening. Hey, 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 hey. Sometimes you work on stuff and you're just, what hardness pencils do you use? I use 4B, but I have issues with pressing down too hard sometimes, and if I erase, it dents the card. I find, oh, hey, Dewback, what's going on? You don't really have to use special pencils. Like I was saying earlier, I would even recommend using like Prismacolors, like a red Prismacolors to your drawing, and then just get a kneaded rubber eraser, which is almost like silly putty. That's a good way to start off if you're worried about your thickness being too hard. I actually use like school pencils half the time. This is a 2HB. That's what I was using before. Before that, you saw me using this. This is a straight up drawing pencil. 2H. It's a sketch pencil, 2H. So yeah, that's usually around where I lay. I will say, if you see me drawing on here, one of the main things I would say is don't push hard when you draw. Just kind of, the ideal word is sketchy, So you always see me doing this, like feathering. I'm not a big swoop hard line guy. I like to just do kind of like, just sketch, you know. I find it's a little more therapeutic that way. Think of it as like, maybe like pruning what do you call it? A bonsai tree. That way you can go back and change things. If you mess up, it's not a big deal. I only tend to go harder when I know it's something that I feel completely confident about, that it doesn't matter, it won't affect, a bigger thing like this. I'm doing, the little magma thing on his head, and, that's kind of my interpretation. I know what it's going to look like. I don't have issues with it because it's my creation, so I just don't worry about it too much. I tend to worry more about things that, the audience will have a bigger issue with, like the face, because if it doesn't look like the character you're drawing, then that's when you've got a problem. Now, the guy who commissioned this wanted me to draw this like an earlier commission I had drawn. So I have the original drawing I did on the right side, but I am doing my own spin on it because I don't want it to look exactly the same. What we are going to have is a lot of action lines and such, which will be fun to do because I do like me some action lines. Yeah, it's funny how the other day I was talking about, like, why am I listening to generic instrumental music on the side? It's because I didn't want to get, like, a copyright strike. Yesterday's video, somebody had claimed one of the tracks in the instrumental mix, so I had to mute about a minute and a half of audio. Thankfully, I think it's when we were all being quiet anyway. So, no harm done. All right, so that's drawn out. So now we're going to do some coloring. And to that I say yay because I was anxious to get to the coloring on this guy. All right. I think this was when the original, this was my take on one of the wacky racers, if I remember right. I can't be 100% right, but I feel like that's what was going on here. All right, now we are on our Tombow liners. This is some pink. I don't know that I want to go that color. And sure enough, I think this is it. It might actually be a little darker than I thought. Let's try that out. Yep, a little darker, but I'm going to save this one for some outlining. And these are the same color. I could have sworn I had a lighter one. I think it's this guy. And it might be. Might have to break open my other flesh tones because this is more of a yellowy. But it works because it'll look like flash from the explosion. The copyright claiming can be ridiculous. There are free classical songs available to everybody, and people try to a copyright claim. Yeah, it's really obnoxious, Simple way to trace. Print something out, tape it on top to what you're drawing on, flip back and forth. You'll be surprised how easy your hand and eye will coordinate. Yeah, I suppose. I will say I'm not a tremendous fan of tracing. Like, if you want to draw something exact, I suppose that's one way to do it. The other way is probably a light table. I don't think there's anything wrong with having imperfections in your art compared to what you're trying to draw from. That's That's my 2 cents, because the imperfections in your art style are eventually what is going to give your style, excuse me, are the imperfections in how you draw is what your style is, you know? Like if you look at this, I wouldn't say this looks like a John Pound, or had to do that when sculpting book covers. I suppose there's lots of reasons to do it. I know people who the thing they do when they do paintings is they set a projector up against the easel, and then they draw the shape of what they're gonna paint, and then they just sort of paint it, but they get the shape from that, you know. Like right now what I'm doing is I'm looking at a drawing I did earlier on, because this guy wants kind of like a take on that, but I don't want it to be the exact same thing, you know? Because then, I mean, I feel like there's something a little boring about like making something exactly like you made before, you know? Something a little more fun about like, oh, I did that before, let me make a new spin on it, you know? I loaded a video of me doing one of my return cards. I tried to put background music on, but failed miserably. Ended up with a silent video, not ideal. I think one of the things you probably could do is, if you do the video on your phone or something, you could download iMovie for your phone, which is free. And I think they have like tracks on there that won't get flagged, and you can just add that. I actually try not to add music to my videos. I just have, music on as ambiance in the background a little bit. Because my goal is actually in doing the live streams to talk as much as possible to you guys. So it's like a Bob Ross sort of thing, with not really being one, you know? Like I'm talking the whole time. Because I remember watching those Bob Ross videos and I realized there's no music. It's just him painting, you know? But I know some people have a hard time just watching somebody talk and there not being music, you know? Even when I do like my review videos and stuff on here, I don't really add music. But then again, that's also part of it's hard because you never know what YouTube is going to flag for copyright. I do try to monetize my videos, and it's obnoxious when you have a really good video and then I use that, but I won't save back to my phone. I'll have to try going live. Seems quite daunting. It just takes practice, man. I mean, I'm live right now. You absolutely remind me of Bob Ross. Haha, very soothing. Yeah, a few people have told me that. I don't get the music industry. I would allow someone to stream a music free press. If they don't want to buy it, then use Napster. Well, I think this is the problem, is the music. Napster in the long run ended up being one of the worst things to happen to music, because music lost all value. Even think about it this way. Like if you buy a movie on like a streaming service like Apple or something, you're still paying like $20 for it, versus like music. Like if you get Spotify, you can play whole albums and for free the day they come out. And I think the artist gets like pennies, or like fractions of a penny for lunch. It's just because we all decided that we would all rather, all these companies like, well, we'd rather stream songs rather than have people buy MP3s. And now you don't even own your music. I still have an iPod, and it's one of those things where, like, if I want to load it up, I have to make sure the computer I'm using doesn't have iTunes, and then I just dump songs on there like a hard drive, you know? That you can still rip songs from CDs, but you can't buy MP3s anymore from Apple or anything, you know? In fact, if you plug like an iPod into iTunes, it tries to like remove songs from there, That's horrible if you think about it. It's stealing from you, especially if you bought it. You know, I buy movies digitally all the time, and I know there's one day where all those hundreds of movies I bought, one day they'll all disappear because they'll say, "Oh, you never really bought those movies. You were just licensing them." You know, it's like that's garbage, man. But welcome to the world we live in. You know. Zoom out here. iPod, they go for big bucks. People just want to put music on them, not fill up their iPhone. Yep, that's what I do. I just load up my iPod. I have like a black iPod, like I forget how many gigs it has from like 20 years ago, and it still works. And I see people have seen me with it and be like, "Yo, how much you want for that iPod?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm trying to sell it, you know?" I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, I got my girlfriend like an iPod Shuffle. Even those are worth stupid money now. But to be fair, even if I go to the gym or something, well, when you could go to the gym, I would still take my phone and just use Spotify, you know, because I didn't want to ruin my iPod. That's cute. All right. All right, let's do his necktie. Who would have thought that LPs are outselling digital copies these days? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you go to a record store, there's more records than CDs. Eventually, CDs will make a comeback once someone like makes a new iPod kind of thing, or just a generic MP3 player. They don't even make those anymore, just MP3 players. Now, let's do the eyes here. Yeah, well, you know, they do have. I don't think they even sell CDs anymore at Target. I don't think Best Buy even sells CDs or anymore. They also have vinyl, you know, and all these reissues are like way overpriced. It's not like when people were buying, you know, these out. Do you think they were $50? I mean, come on. Like an album should be like 20, 25 bucks tops. Who has the money to spend $50 on a reissue of like, you know, In Utero? Honestly, even $30 sounds like it's way too much. What's weird is I still get like a lot of you know, people send me stuff in the mail to review on my website, and every once in a while I'll get like an album, and I'm like, where would I even put a record player? All right. Just laying down our flat yellows here. If you guys are looking to get a commission done, my schedule is wide open next week. Yeah, apparently that's true. Like, which seems weird to me, but there you go. Somehow a wax thing can hold sound better than a disc, you know? Let me just get our flats down. See, it's funny when I don't draw it ahead of time, it does take me longer to do it. but I like to take my time when I'm coloring. Like I said, if you're new to the chat, feel free to give us a thumbs up. If you have comments, feel free to leave them in the chat box. Next week, we should be doing Monday and Tuesday, I think, for sure. I'll set up some live streams right after this one is done. I feel like 3 is a good number to do during the week, although this is pretty much the last regular I have left to do aside from a triptych and a pano, so we might cut down to 2. I don't know. Depends on how you guys are feeling. Do you guys think 3 drawing live streams a week is too much? Would you rather I just do 2? I do take your opinions into account. There we go. More the merrier. Okay. Three is good, but I'm a GPK fan and not that much content to watch out there. That's true. I mean, once all the sets are out, there's a lot of people who do break videos. And I don't do that stuff. I figure that's more for collectors. I think it's good to have varied content out. There's not a lot of people who do live sketches, I'd rather leave stuff like breaks and stuff like that to collectors, because I enjoy watching those videos on people's channels, All right, now we're going to throw some brown in this mix. Yeah, because, I would love to just play regular music on the stream, but again, YouTube will, give me a copyright strike, and I don't really want that. But I also find it soothing to draw to classical music, so, whatever you can do up to not burning out. Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like I'm still enjoying doing this. I don't want to burn out doing it. Because I'm trying to grow the channel as well, I think we're like 30 people away from 2,100, which I'm really jazzed about. Jason, what's up, dude? All right, let's work on some other color here. I'm doing some sunset pink around his eyes today. I think that should look nice. Yeah, yesterday I went to a movie preview for Don't Breathe Part 2. That movie. How did you start with GPK? Did you send an artwork? Contact them. It said there was a GPK artist whose name is Dan Webster. And he does really good art, and he saw some of my stuff and suggested that I contact Tops about doing some art for them. So he gave me the email to contact them, and I sent them a bunch of samples, and I didn't hear anything back from them at all for a year. Literally sent them like a bunch of samples done on sketch card size. Then, literally exactly a year later, I got an email from an editor at Topps. Said, "We got your portfolio. How would you like to work on some cards?" And I said, "Yep." And that's where we're at. All right, now let's do his nose here. Yeah, but Dan Webster's a really good artist. He doesn't do a ton of GPK sets anymore, which is kind of a bummer. I think he's like one of the best artists around. I think. He does ton of cross hatching. Cool. I took to do some rest. IVA. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, no worries. You guys can feel free to talk. You know, I'm not trying to big brother you. Yeah, no, dude, it's all good. You guys can talk about stuff. Alright. How much for a real sketch? Oh, do you mean like unofficial cards? I usually charge 55 shipped for those. I'm running out of those cards too. I think I only have like 20 or so left, so I'm gonna have to order new cards. I'm gonna change up the design because I remember somebody at Topps was irritated at me. They said it looked too much like a Garbage Pail Kid card, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Oh, sounds good. Yeah, Topps doesn't like it when you're geez, you guys should tell me if I zoomed in too much, you know. Topps doesn't like it sometimes if my sketch cards look a little too much like real cards. I think it's because I was selling blanks on eBay, or not blanks, selling commissions, and I posted up one of my blank cards, and they thought I was bootlegging, and I was like, no, I'm good. I haven't had any, issues with them since then. So, what's planned for the pano and the triptych? I think the pano is gonna be like a. Oh, hey, what's up, Robert? The pano is gonna be like a political thing, or if I remember right, I think it's Snooty Sam, and then George Washington and Abe Lincoln, and then the triptych, exactly, and then the triptych is gonna be like a creep show montage. Oh, thanks for the tip, Jason. I appreciate that. Our first super chat of the day. If you're enjoying the drawing, you can totally pop in that $sign at the bottom and give me a tip. And you get a fancy banner. You can also post stickers in the chat that way. All right, let me do the blue around his eyes. God forbid Top's bottom line is effective. They want artists to draw GPK. When they do it to perfection, they cry, what the fuck? Oh, that's the thing, you know. Oh, thanks. Another super chat from Robert. Thanks, dude. $2. That's a great tip. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't get Top sometimes, you know. I think they released 35th. The graffiti set, what's it called? Beyond the Streets and Sapphire and Food Fight way too close to each other. Like, I think 35th got completely buried because Sapphire came out like a week later. So, like, thanks, Frank. I appreciate that, man. I've said all tips. Like that 100%. Yeah, you know, and it's like, I get it. Like, I don't think Tops needs to flood the market so much with their stuff because people are really into it right now. So, like, all it happens is some of the sets get lost in the shuffle, you know? I mean, I'm not telling them how to do their business. Clearly, they have ideas, you know? But, like, I feel like they put out a little too much Garbage Pail Kids product. You know, that and Bizarre, between that and Bizarre Holidays and all these, like, online only sets, you know? At least the retail sets you shouldn't bury. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a business guy in that regard. You know, I just think yeah, you know, and I feel like some stuff is just meant for people who are going to spend, you know, like money on it. Oh, thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. 35th got shot. It was horrible. It will take a few years for that set to recover. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. I feel like 35th got like completely hosed because they did like 35th Untold Stories as an online set, and that was what like was the real 35th anniversary, and that really irritated me. You know, it's like, dude, I feel like the bulk of people who buy GPKs don't buy the online only sets; they buy retail. You know. But like Tops also puts out too much Star Wars, you know? Yeah. You know, and I only work on like I only work on the Tops retail sets, you know, and I've been trying, you know, in vain for about a year now. I'm like, dude, if you're going to do this many like online sets, can I at least get on the online sets too, you know? Yeah. You know, but I'm not you know, that's the thing, like, I don't know, like, I feel like they also have a lot of turnover in their main office. I don't really know where they're going with a lot of these ideas. This is what kills collector market. They overproduce, then the demand drops way off for years. Yeah, that's kind of what like I feel is a possibility. I mean, thankfully, I mean honestly, I feel like exclusive sets, which they know not everyone will have access to. Yeah, I think that's also very true. I mean, also, here's the other thing that really irritated me about Beyond the Streets is like Tops did a thing where they like interviewed every single artist that was involved with that set on their website. And why don't they do that with like the artists they have working for like the retail or in-house, you know? Like I feel like we get the short shaft, especially when you get an email from Top sometimes, and it's like, hey, by the way, you guys, we need you to do like 130 sketches in like 2 weeks, and we're only gonna pay you $2 a card. You know, it's just stupid. When I do cards for like Fright Rags or something, Fright Rags would pay me like $5 or $6 a card, you know? I mean, and that doesn't seem that much more, but if you're doing like 30 cards, like you're making more than you would for tops, you know? Some of those things that like you try not to think too hard about. Honestly, like I've told people a lot of times, this is why I turned down like doing Star Wars and stuff anymore. And they Tops understands I only want to work on Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, you know, yeah. But my whole thing is like I don't want to work on sets that I don't find personally interesting anymore. Just to get my because like for a while they were always hitting me up to do like Star Wars, and I did a bunch of Star Wars sets, and I'm like, Nick mentioned that only 2 weeks for hundreds of cards. It isn't, the only reason I can do shit like that is because I work for myself. I don't have a day job. Like drawing is my this is my day job, is working on stuff, like and then I sell, art, commissions and art prints on like my personal site, and that's how I make my living. And I do well just because like I'm good at, making connections with people, like in terms of like, hey guys, support me because I think I'm a pretty good guy. But, a lot of people don't have that in them. Being an artist can be introverted, lonely work. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Look at GPK as a springboard. Sometimes you need to sacrifice. Exactly. Like honestly, like I make my money from commissions and stuff. I don't really, look at what Tops pays me is what I'm paid for. And I've talked to some other, artists, and they have a really hard time selling their returns and their commissions and stuff. But then they don't really put a lot of effort into their a lot of art. I'm not saying a lot, I'm saying some artists don't put a lot of effort into their retail hit cards. Like they only put effort into like their return cards. But honestly, more people, I think this is really true of me in the last set. Tons of people have been finding my retail cards in like packs and stuff, and then they find my info and they want to hook up with me to do other stuff, you know? So like your retail cards should be like a good indicator of like what your stuff is going to look like, because I think for the most part, if you watch my videos of all the cards I did for, pack inserts and hobby cards, like I would say any of those are just as good as my return cards. Like why should I punish somebody who's spending like a few $100 on retail cards for not getting a return quality card, because it's really hard to get hits from what I understand. Like those action lines I do. I mean, I think it's exciting to pull like a really cool looking card. You can't with all the sharks swimming and scalpers. Oh yeah, dude. I like look on eBay sometimes and there's like somebody pulled a couple of my 4 card puzzles and they were selling them for like $600. And I'm like, dude, who's got $600 to pay for that? Or like somebody pulls like not my stuff, but I've seen people pull like a black and white return card, not a return card, a black and white like sketch card, and like try to sell it for like $1,000. Like I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for a sketch card hit that I didn't even pull. You know, I don't have money for that stuff. I mean, some people do. More power to them. But I always tell people, that's why I always tell people, if you can support the artists, like hit them up for commissions and stuff, because we're the ones who do a lot of the heavy lifting, and then we don't see those big numbers sometimes. Trading card shop, you mentioned the other day about your dad saying people pay for experience to get the job done fast you can, but art is meant to be proud and take your time. Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, honestly, I think if you can't if you're having an issue like drawing quality cards for a hard deadline, maybe you shouldn't take that deadline. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the thing, like, I've been drawing forever, so like I know how long it's going to take me to do something. I don't want, so I try not to sign up for things that I can't do, you know? Like if I know, and I've turned down a set or two before for this, that the only way I can get a set done is by doing it all in black and white. Then I probably won't do it because I prefer to do stuff in color because I have a particular style. It's kind of like taking pride in what you do, but a lot of people sometimes take every set offered. And again, I don't want this to be taken as me being critical of the artist, because I think some of these card companies could plan better in terms of their deadlines for reaching out to artists. Oh, thanks, man, about the detail on this card. You know, I try to. I don't know. I like when I do stuff. I try to put as much thought and of myself into it as I can. Because I'd like for all my cards to not have cards that I'm not happy with. I'm like, oh, that's like beneath my ability. For the most part, I'm happy with most of my stuff. And I'm pretty, I have a good opinion of my talent, else I probably, or of my abilities, because else I probably wouldn't do live sketching. I really enjoyed sketching for Food Fight. It was Donnie in first place. I prided myself and breezed through considering the deadline. Yeah, and you know what? I think deadlines sometimes make you a stronger artist. It's like a challenge. When I first started doing sketch cards, there was a kind of card and Topps doesn't do this anymore. Um, they would do split artist panos. So what you would do is you'd get a pano, right? Like this, and then you would draw half of it. Like you draw half of it, and then you'd send it to Topps, and they would send it to another artist to finish the pano. So like I draw this, and then somebody else would get the other side to finish the piece. And my very first set, like I got to start it. So I did one that had Freddy on one side, and then I had one that had like Clark Shark, and then there was another one. And I never saw what the finished card looked like until somebody pulled it. And like my side was like super detailed, and then the other one, like, I'm not gonna name the person, but like I didn't think it was like of that same level, and that really bugged me because it was like, really, because I put a lot of effort, because I thought it was like a jam, because I like jam art. I used to do this thing. I would go to tattoo shows, and they'd have this thing called, like, I forget what it's called, like the live art experiment. Basically, they'd have like 4 or 5 canvases, and you'd get like 10 or like 5 minutes to work on a canvas, and then you'd rotate. And after an hour, like you would go through each each canvas like 20 times, so it'd be like this jam piece made up of the five different artists going through it like 20 times, and it didn't look like anything of what you imagined it. But what pissed me off is there would always be one guy, because I did this like for like 5 years, who would like try to do the middle, like this huge thing, so the whole thing would be like their piece. And it's like, dude, that's not how this works. It's supposed to be like a collaborative. So they draw like a giant eyeball. But then like the best ones were like, somebody would draw a pair of wings, and then somebody would draw a demon's head, and then somebody draw a girl, and then somebody would add filigree. And then by the end it looked like this epic like fantasy thing. But then the one guy who drew the giant eyeball, theirs would always be the lamest, because everybody would just add filigree and not do anything to the eyeball. And then one time I went through it and literally I drew like a hole in the eyeball. And then people started drawing like worms coming out, and then fire, and then like blood. And then like that guy was so mad. Like, you ruined my piece. And it's like, dude, it wasn't supposed to be your piece. It was supposed to be our piece, you know? So I think there's something to be said for like if you're working on a jam to kind of bring your own thing to it and not like leave the other guy hanging. I would love to do something like that one day. If we do like next year, if we do like GPK Con, I might hit up like Clint and be like, if we could do something like that, like just do this big like canvas and have all the GPK guys do like a big jam on it. I think that would be pretty rad, because I love doing that stuff. And I like doing live art. I haven't gone, I mean, this is live art, what I'm doing, but you guys can tell I like doing live art, because I'm not really trying to phone this in. I mean, I could have called this finished like 5 minutes ago, but I keep adding things to it because, like, I like all the little detail. Where is GPK Con? They usually have it in Las Vegas. It's usually in March. They didn't do it this year. It's usually part of this thing called ToyCon, but the last like 3 years they've had it. It's been in Las Vegas. I just went the first year to check it out, and that was the first year they had it all in this little room. But that year was like loaded. They had like James Warhol was there, Tom Bunk was there, Zapata was there, Mark Pingator, Smokin' Joe, Brett Engstrom. Who else was there? I don't remember. And then the second year, Brett Engstrom was there, Smokin' Joe was there, Zapata was there. They had a lot more of the newer guys were there. Like I was there. Who else? I can't. Sean Cruz was there. David Acevedo, and then last year we had it last year. It was literally the weekend that Vegas shut down because of the pandemic. I was there. It was Acevedo, Floyd Man, Mark Pingator, Brandon Snyder, Michael Bernard, some other people. Shenduz was there the first year. I don't think he was there the second or the third year. Yeah, it's good. It's a cool show, and it's not expensive. They always kind of have it at like one of the like kind of more rundown casinos, so it's actually pretty cheap to go to. Um, and then they always have like all like they have a GPK breakfast. Have a good weekend, Victor. I'm off to buy my mom a set of tires. All right, cool, man. Thanks for checking in. It's good seeing you, dude. But yeah, it's super fun. We all kind of jam there. I Bernard's art reminds me of yours. Yeah, I mean he does a lot of digital coloring, which I do on my prints too. Um, I guess I can see some similarities. Um, but yeah, he's a good dude. I like Michael a lot. Look at the back; it's like rainbow tie dye. that's the one I just did. And then this is the one I did off. I did these two last night off camera for other people. I like this Clark shark just because I think that the GPK girl looks like, I'm so serene, la la la. Like, I did the water to look like the movie poster where it was kind of like painty, you know, so I just did a chisel edge. Do you like Mad Balls and the artwork, and have you ever done a GPK style Mad Balls theme? Yeah, I have. Actually, I have. I'll do a tour of my office one of these days, but I have like a whole NECA and Mad Balls shelf where like I have Freddy next to the Freddy Mad Ball and Leatherface next to the Leatherface Mad Ball and Jason next to Jason. Oh, thanks, Manny. I really appreciate that. Manny's the bomb. Thank you for the super chat, man. You rock. And then, yeah, I like horror stuff a lot. That's why, you know, the horror set that I'm gonna start working on the stream next week, that I'm planning on doing a Kickstarter for in April. It's gonna have a lot of Mad Balls kind of inspired stuff to it. It's gonna be pretty sick, hopefully. I'm also gonna have some cool enamel pins and some original designs, you know, so I'm really excited about that. And this was a Dina of the Dead one I did for this girl Stephanie. I think this one came out pretty good too. So yeah, I'm like pretty. So now I only have 2 returns left to do, which I'll probably finish up this weekend. I'm doing a creep show trifold and a political pano, so that's kind of cool. You know, and I have a lot of fun doing these. So I'm glad you guys like tuning in and watching them. You know. You can see some of my many pencils over here. I have like 10 of the same pen because they go through it so quick. But yeah, I don't know. All I know is I enjoy doing the GPK kind of stuff, but I also enjoy drawing like straight up like monsters and Mad Balls and stuff. Yeah, because there's that one GPK Mad Ball character I always like drawing. I don't know. I might do a GPK Mad Ball and throw it up on my eBay this weekend and see how it goes. Because I haven't put any stuff on eBay in like a week and a half. Usually I try to put some stuff up there to make it a little more accessible for everyone. Maybe I'll throw some stuff on Etsy, you know. But I will say, now that I've got these done, I am officially open for commissions again. So if you guys want to get some commissions done, I know I turned it down a bunch this week. Feel free to hit me up on Messenger and we can schedule some stuff for the live stream, because I enjoy doing that, because I like drawing stuff for people while they're watching. I think that's a lot of fun. So yeah, just hit me up on Messenger. We'll do some commissions for next week. It'll be fun for the live stream. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions or comments for you, feel free to hit me up right now, because I still got a little bit to hang out. Usually I run till 6, but like I went a little under today. But I don't think we have enough time to work on another one because I spent so much time on Atom Bomb today. You know, and I was talking inside baseball about like Tops, and see if they get mad at me about that. I'm just kidding. I don't think Tops actually watches my streams, so. Anyway, they shouldn't care. I'm just expressing my opinion. I hit the bell to let me know when you go live. Oh, awesome, dude. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to schedule some more live streams once this one is done for next week. That way you can get, like, set a reminder. But I appreciate the bell because that, like, actually helps me out. Thanks for the video, Victor. Ava will be on live tonight for all you GPK fans out there. Oh, cool. So you're going to break some stuff? Do some breaks? If you guys ever do break videos, I will totally advertise your break videos because I always think those are fun to watch. But yeah, I think that's cool. I'm just cleaning up here. Everybody right now should hit the thumbs up. Yeah, totally. Give me some thumbs up. Helps me out. Check out Mr. Kimball's channel. He has a lot of fun content on there too. I think you just type Mr. Kimball on the YouTube. And he shows off his collection of Hot Wife. Is she in a collector's case? Just kidding. I don't know. See, that's the one thing. Well, no, Facebook is really bad about that too. Facebook used to tell me when people were on, and then it stopped doing it, and that's when it got totally worthless. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe I'll do a poll or something. Asking me which cards you guys would like for the horror set. Oh, and by the way, I just remember, guys, we are still doing the free sketch card giveaway when I get to 2,100. So if you do a super chat or a super sticker, you are totally entered into that. It doesn't have to. You don't have to do $50 or $20 and be as low as $1. And then from everyone who's done a super chat, I'm going to draw somebody from that to get a free sketch card. And every time you do a super chat, it counts as an entry. So think of it as a raffle. You've already entered if you've done a super chat or a super sticker. Cheap way to support the channel, and that way you actually might end up getting a sketch card done live on stream for like 99 cents, And you get to see me draw it live, and it can be whatever you want. So cool stuff. I think we are like 30 people away. 30 people away from 2,100. So that is not insurmountable. I think at the start of the week we were 50 people away. So, we're looking at a week or two tops. So that's when I'm going to start pushing it a little bit more, because the closer we get to it, the more likely it's going to happen. Great ideas, says Mr. Kimball. Oh yeah, totally. I think it's a good way to do it, and that way it supports people who are supporting you. And I'm gonna do some more giveaways too, because I get tons of free stuff sometimes from all the movie things I do that I just kind of piles around. So like if you like horror movies, I got like t-shirts and like buttons and hats from stuff like like The Purge and like Annihilation, tons of stuff like just laying around that I'm totally up for giving away for support. All right. But I'm totally gonna stop because I want you guys to check out Avo's stream. Like I said, you should also check out Mr. Kimball's channel. If any of you guys have GPK channels, hit me up on that. Like leave links in the comments. And like I said, you guys have a good weekend. Thank you for checking out the channel. Yeah, it's totally my favorite genre too. And I don't know. I want to see if we can next time, if I can work out something where I can get some more GPK artists to jam on something, because that sounded like a cool idea. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, guys. You have a good weekend. It's Friday. Get some pizza. Watch some Ninja Turtles. Break some GPK cards and have some fun. All right. So I will talk to you all later. Till next time, cowabunga. Party on, dudes. All right.